Hi, everybody. It's Mike with some more info for the upcoming Vanguard GT, which is at this point just a couple of weeks away. So today I wanted to show off the scoring system that we're going to be using. Hi, Sean. Um, so for those of you who went to Pilgrimage, this will look pretty familiar because it's the same one we were using there. I've been talking with the creator of it, and he's been working on getting some more of the bugs fixed. So I'm pretty confident that this will go smoothly. If you have used Tabletop TO before, it's a little similar to that, but a little more flexible, a little more customizable. It is called Tabletopscore. And so let's just dive in and let me show you guys what this experience is going to be like. So it does communication via email. So on every round, when the round starts, you're going to get an email like this to whatever email address you've given me. And it's going to say, hey, the TO started round number whatever your opponent is, and it'll tell you the name of the person and what table you're on. It should tell you what the scenario is, but that currently says undefined because I didn't want anybody to know what the first round scenario was yet. And it says, after your game, remember to submit your results at tabletopscore.com. Also, once the lists are in, there shall also be a link in here to download your opponent's list. So if you don't want to, wait till you get to the table to get a copy of the list from them, or you want to have a digital copy on your device, you'll be able to pull it down here as well. So you'll get one of these every round. And it'll tell you basically where to go, and you'll get them as soon as the pairings are created, so you don't need to wait for any announcements or anything. Once you get them, you can just go straight to your table and get started. So at the end of each round, then you'll go to Tabletopscore, and you will input your game results. And let me show you what that looks like. If I can find it. I believe it is that one, yes. Okay. So one thing you will get in email, sent to the email that you've provided to me, is a pin to log into Tabletopscore. And that's basically a short pin that I have selected for each individual player that you can use to log in. And then you can set a password later if you want to, or you can just keep using the pin. But after we do the first round pairing video, which we'll do early in the week before the tournament, you'll get an email with your pin, and you can use that to log in at that point. So I'm going to log into my test account, assuming I remember what I set the pin to. Let's find out. I did. Yay, looky there. All right, so once you log in, since you'll probably be using this on a phone, you'll have this kind of slim view. If you want to change a different password, you can go over here to settings and set a password, and then you can log in with your email address and password instead of the pin if you don't want to keep using the default pins that I made up. And you can also save those on your phone so you don't have to remember to type them in every time. It can just automatically fill them out. And so, yeah, you should see the Vanguard GT 2022. And you can click to go in, and then you'll get up here some basic information. Vanguard GT, we're on round number 1. Again, it'll tell you who your opponent is. Test account 1 is playing test account 2, on what table they are on. And then down at the bottom, you'll see current battle points. Currently, there's only 2 people in the event, test 1 and test 2. BGT test 2 has already put in their score for the round, so that's why it says they have 8 and you have 0. But as the tournament goes on, when you bring up Tabletopscore, you'll be able to see everyone's current battle point totals there. And at the end of the event, I'll make all of the different values available, so you can see the full results here as well. You can see your paint score and your sports score and your overall score, and the individual captain scores for army appearance. But the thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to go up here to game result. It'll say open form, and that's where you go to the game result form for round 1. This will be how it will look basically every round. There will be a game result for the current round until we get to the last round. On the last round, there will be 2 forms here. One will be the game result, and one will be the tournament wrap-up form, and that'll be where you do your player's choice voting, and you're voting for your first and second favorite opponent, but that's only at the very, very end. But after every round, you go in here, you click open form, and it'll bring you to the game result form. There's basically 2 halves to this. There's a top and a bottom. On the top is where you put your results, and on the bottom are where you put your opponent's results. And it's very important that you do both. You have to put in both your results and your opponent's results, and they have to match up. That's like a data integrity check to make sure that nobody's fibbing or nobody mistyped anything. So if they don't match, then we have to go through the process of getting them to agree. There's some conflict resolution that can happen there. But both you and your opponent put them in at the same time and put in the same numbers, and everything will be cool. So now one fun thing here is that you don't have to do the blackjack math. You don't have to look at charts to see like what the attrition difference is and how many points you get. It does all that for you. All you have to do is put in the result, win, loss, or draw here at the top. I believe I said that this player won this. Points routed, that's going to be how many points you killed. Just how many points of stuff that you routed during the game. 2,000 is fine. Scenario points is again just the raw number of points that you scored in the scenario you are playing. So if we were, for example, playing Invade, and you ended the game with 8 unit strength on your opponent's side of the table, then those are your scenario points, because that's how Invade works. So you would just put 8 here, right? Can't remember what number I actually put. I think I said 3 for the other and 4 for this one, just to keep them simple. So whatever scenario you're playing, if this was like Pillage or something, one of them had 3 objectives, the other one has 4. That's all you put in. You don't have to do any math. Then there's the sport vote for everyone. Good game, yes or no, basically. This is just the per round sportsmanship check-in. Like, did your opponent play cleanly? Did they have a copy of their list? Were they well behaved? Did you have any serious issues with them? And if everything's good, you just say yes. If you select no, then I would like you to give me some idea of why, because a bad game vote is something that I think a TO should investigate. So I'm gonna, if you don't fill it out, I'm gonna come ask you why you gave someone a bad game vote. And these are things like he was cheating, or he kept picking up units and moving them and then picking them up again and moving them someplace else, and generally playing really sloppy, and I can't tell what was happening, or he was a total dick the whole game, or whatever. Like it should be something fairly egregious. And if it is, then sure, go ahead. Like if somebody's actually like causing you to have a really bad time and causing problems, and some action needs to be taken, then by all means, say, no, this was not a good game, and explain why, and I will go have a word with that person. And that's the sort of thing where if like 2 people say that somebody has given them a bad game, I'm likely to ask them not to participate in the rest of the event. So it's serious. Take it seriously. Thank you. Next is your bonus objective. So for Vanguard GT, we have this list of 2-point bonus objectives. I ask you guys to pick one before each round based on the scenario you're playing and the terrain map and who your opponent is, what their army is. And if you manage to accomplish that objective, you get 2 bonus points, and you can only accomplish each individual objective once, whether you get it or not. So this is just a spot for you to say which one you picked for this round. They're all here. It does not currently enforce not letting you pick the same one from the drop-down twice. But I'll see it, and I'll come tell you that that's something you can't do. So please just keep track of them yourself. Let's say for this one, you did hamstring. And if you did it, you actually need to hit this checkbox. That's the important thing. You should always fill out which one you did, but if you actually get those 2 points, make sure to hit this checkbox. That's something that I'm afraid people might easily miss, and I don't want people to miss out on their 2 points. So that's your half, right? You put in whether you win, lost, or drew. You put in the number of points that you killed. You put in the number of scenario points you scored. You said whether or not it was a good game. You said which bonus objective you picked and whether you did it or not. Then when you get down to your opponents, you'll need to say what their results were, and hopefully they match what your opponent put in. And then you hit submit. There you go. And as you can see, it's done the math for you already. It's done the blackjack math as appropriate. And so this game is a 17-8. I know that looks a little weird for straight blackjack because of the 2-point bonus objectives. So that's why the numbers don't add up to 21 like they do on other blackjack systems, because I've got those couple of extra bonus points in there. 21 still is a perfect game, but since both players can get the 2-point bonus objectives, the 2 numbers added together don't always add up to 21. So that's basically it. Um, as everybody puts in their results, you'll be able to see the results here. You'll be able to sort it by battle points. Every round, you're going to get that email telling you who you're playing, what table you're playing on, and give you a link to their list. And then you come in here, you put in your results, their results, submit, and that's it. And there's no data entry for the TO, so the rounds can go nice and quick and smooth. We don't have to wait for me to type in a bunch of stuff. So that's it. It's pretty straightforward once you do it once or twice. Typically, I think everybody gets the hang of it. So yeah, make sure to bring an internet connected device that can run a web browser and that you can check your email on. And everybody can use this, and hopefully this will go nice and smooth. And again, you can go to settings up here at the top. If you want a different email address than the one that I have currently, than like the one I sent your PIN to, you can change that. You can also, I believe, change the password for your account. Or there's a QR code. You can generate a QR code that basically is the same as your PIN, and it lets you log straight into your account. So if anybody wants to try to do that, Tim suggested that folks could do that as an easy way to log in without setting a password um, or remembering the PIN. Also, there's a spot in here for phone number and a checkbox to say receive SMS. Tim has told me that is actually disabled for now. So if you prefer to get these notifications by phone to your actual phone number via SMS, sorry, that's not working. It's all email all the time for this event. Possibly in a future event that'll happen, but also I think future events everybody's going to have different profiles because it seems like right now the TO signs up everybody. I think eventually people will be able to sign up for events directly in this tool, and so at that point you'll have like your permanent profile that you log in with and then see upcoming events and register. It's not quite there yet, but it does all the score tracking stuff fine, and it does the rounds fine. And at the end, everybody will be able to see the results here. I will also probably publish like a guest account and PIN, so people who aren't at the event who want to know what the current standings are can just log in and see them. Because I don't think there's like a public view of the events in this app yet. I think you have to be able to actually log in to see what the scores for the event are. And I know people were interested in what was going on, like at Pilgrimage every round, and who was playing, and what the totals were. And I'm not sure that Tim's going to have something like that built in time. So I'm just gonna make like a default, VGT guest account that people can log in with to check out the scores if they're following along from home. And so that's pretty much it for the scoring thing. If anybody's got any questions, you can of course post them on Facebook or send them to me via email. I'll be happy to answer them. But I think this should work pretty well for us, just in terms of getting everything done. Because not having to do the blackjack math of doing the difference between the attrition and looking up on the chart how many bonus points that gives you is kind of nice. So I've just got a couple other things that I wanted to remind people of here. One, Rob Kenzie is still interested in playing Black Powder. If anybody's interested in playing some Black Powder with him on like Friday night, he's got all the stuff for it. You don't need to bring anything really other than yourself and a willingness to play Napoleonic era historical battle, which is fun. So you can get in touch with him on Facebook and let him know that you want to do that. So he'll bring all the stuff out, and you guys can arrange what time you want to play. I believe everybody has their club status updated at this point. We have, I think, like 6 clubs. And only 3 people that don't currently have a club listed. And I think only 1 club that only has 2 people listed. So I'm not sure whether the Blue City Brawlers are going to get one or 2 more people in. But we have the Aristocrats, the Middle Atlantic Regulars, 7th Circle, the Battle Pilgrims, the Spotsylvania Area Gamers, Carolina Reapers. And I think that's all of the clubs that have at least 3. And then Blue City Brawlers have 2, and there's a couple of outstanding folks. So plenty of folks in clubs for the best club thing. We will be giving away the Cornwell Cup that was first handed out at Pilgrimage to whichever Mid Atlantic club gets the highest total combined overall score of their top 3 members here. And we'll add another nameplate, to the base of the cup, and then that'll stick with whatever club that is until Mountaineer, and then we'll pass it off to whoever wins the best club award at Mountaineer and keep passing it around the region. So that'll be cool. So if anybody who still doesn't have a club is interested in popping in one, or if the Brawlers are looking for a couple extra people, just let me know what you want me to set your club status to. You have until lists are due, basically, if you want to make any changes there. Speaking of things that you might want to do before lists are due, first round challenges. As soon as I get all the lists, I will set all the first round pairings. We've currently got 3 first round challenges. And if anybody wants to make one, they can post those on Facebook, where I can see them, and whoever you're challenging can see them, either in the event or in like the Mid-Atlantic group, or on the VGT Facebook page, one of those places. Anywhere really where you can tag both me and the person you're challenging is fine. I've been getting a lot of proof of vaccination from folks. I think we're about halfway there. So that's great. So if you haven't gotten that to me yet, please do so at your earliest convenience. The case numbers are still relatively low. They've gone up a little bit, but it's hard to tell whether that's a trend that is going to continue or whether it's just sort of oscillating around a bit. It's, one week doesn't necessarily make a trend. If it keeps rising next week, then we'll have to look at the slope and decide whether we think it's going to be so high by the time of the event that we will want to encourage people or require people to get tested before they arrive. As it is right now, I think it's still low enough that we don't need to do that. Everybody just needs to be aware of their own situation and any possible exposures, and just be responsible. I of course want to see everybody, but I don't want anybody to get sick. So just everybody pay attention to your health condition, and get your proof of vaccination into me, and hopefully the case numbers will stay sufficiently low that it's not really something that we need to worry about over the next couple of weeks. Also, if anybody has any dietary restrictions, I've heard from one person about a dietary restriction. Please let me know so we can do whatever we need to do to accommodate you. And also, I'd like to encourage people one more time to carpool if they can, since, again, parking is what I run out of first. So anybody who carpools will get a few more shots at some of the door prizes, and also just make the event smoother for everyone if we're not having to awkwardly try to squeeze cars into places, or people aren't having to park all the way down on the street and walk up and back. Sometime before the event, I will do a video basically walking around the site a little bit. So those of you who haven't been here before can feel at least a little oriented, and I will show you guys the parking area and talk a little bit about how we fit as many cars in as possible, just so everybody's on the same page when they get here. So it's not total chaos; it's just the normal amount of chaos. So that'll come up in another week or two. Probably I'll do that, a couple of days before the event, so that it's nice and fresh in everybody's mind when they get here. And also by then I'll have all the tables set up with all the terrain on it, and we can walk around the gaming area a little bit and check out some of the tables, which should be cool. So I think that's all I got for right now. So we went over the scoring system. I hope I sufficiently showed off how that works to everybody, so you have a pretty good sense of what you're going to need to do at the end of every round to turn your scores in. Hopefully that's going to be nice and smooth, and everybody's going to find it convenient and useful. I as a TO definitely prefer systems where the players enter their own information, so I don't have to do all the data entry, and we don't have to have that lag at the end of every round while everybody's waiting for the TO to get everything sorted out. Talked about if anybody wants to play Black Powder, let Rob know. And then just the regular set of reminders about clubs and first round challenges and vaccinations and dietary restrictions and carpooling. So lists are due 1 week from tomorrow, basically. Friday midnight is when they are due. I should have all of the lists via email, Easy Army PDF preferred, please, by next Saturday morning, so that I can then schedule the pairing broadcast for early next week. Monday or Wednesday are likely days for that. And then we're just over 2 weeks from the event. Cool. So yeah, we're getting the house ready. We're getting the tables set up and the terrain set up and everything. And we're just planning and doing spring cleaning and getting everything ready for everybody. And I'm getting really excited. I hope everybody's getting really excited too. I hope you're doing whatever, last minute painting. Well, you got 2 weeks. It's not last minute yet. It's just normal painting. Like a week from now, it'll be last minute painting when you've got like 3 units left to do and you're cramming to get them done. That's last minute painting. So let me encourage you to not wait till the last minute. You should be painting your stuff now while you have a full 2 weeks instead of like cramming it all in at the end. And get in some practice games, figure out what your list is going to be. I've already gotten a few lists from folks. Some folks are nice early committers, like they know exactly what they're doing. Some of you I know are going to tinker right up to the last minute. So get some practice games in where you can. Get your list nailed down. This is the last Mid-Atlantic event before the Masters qualifying season closes. So for everybody that's trying to squeeze their way onto the Masters team, get some good practice games in between now and then to give yourself the best chance you can, and getting some points here and moving up in the standings. I think that's all I got for right now. So I'll be back next week with basically just reminding everyone to turn in their list and their vaccination information. I really want everybody's vax information by the time you turn in your list. If you haven't given it to me, by the time you send me your list, just send it at the same time, please. I don't want to have anybody that's like paid and sent a list but hasn't sent me their vax information yet. Also, if anyone is planning on crashing at the house that hasn't paid for a camping spot and isn't renting one of the rooms, please make sure that I know so that I have an accurate head count for breakfast. I usually ask for $10 for folks that are just crashing on an air mattress to help cover the cost of breakfast. But it'd be good to have a head count for that in advance so that we buy enough stuff. So if you're staying on site and you haven't already told me you're camping and you're not one of the people that rented a room, that's great. We love having as many people stay over as possible. It's a great time to have as many people here. I just want a heads up so that we know how many people we have to accommodate. Potentially for like dinner on Friday night and then for breakfast Saturday and Sunday morning. All right, I think that's it. Everybody, get excited. It's coming up. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, y'all. It's going to be a good time. I cannot wait. So I will see everybody really soon. And y'all take care. See you in 2 weeks.